In a tense confrontation on a quiet Virginia street, police officers unleashed a K-9 on Captain Marcus Reed, a black U.S. Marine Corps officer, expecting the dog to attack. Instead, the dog's unexpected reaction, refusing the command and approaching Reed with a wagging tail, defused the situation and exposed the officer's overreach. What followed was a chain of events that not only cleared Reed's name but sparked a nationwide conversation about police tactics, accountability, and the instincts of a loyal animal that changed everything. Marcus Reed, a 34-year-old Marine Corps captain, was driving through Chesapeake, Virginia, on a late summer evening. He had just returned from a deployment in the Middle East and was on leave, visiting family before returning to his base. His pickup truck, a gift from his father, had a broken license plate light, a minor issue he hadn't noticed. Around 10 p.m., officers Brian Walsh and Kevin Tate, both with the Chesapeake Police Department, pulled him over on a residential street. Reed, trained to stay calm under pressure, complied immediately, keeping his hands visible on the steering wheel. Walsh approached the driver's side, his flashlight sweeping the truck's interior. Tate stood by the passenger side, his hand resting on his holster. Walsh demanded Reed's license and registration, his tone sharp. Reed provided the documents, explaining he was a Marine on leave. Walsh, unimpressed, questioned why Reed was in the neighborhood, a predominantly white area where his cousin lived. "You sure you're supposed to be here?" Walsh asked, his voice laced with suspicion. Reed, maintaining his composure, confirmed he was visiting family, offering to provide his cousin's address. Tate, scanning the truck, claimed to see suspicious items in the back, a gym bag and a water bottle. He ordered Reed to step out of the vehicle. Reed, aware of the escalating tone, asked why the stop was turning into a search. Walsh snapped, "Don't question me. Get out now." Reed complied, stepping out slowly, his hands raised. By now, a second patrol car had arrived, carrying Officer Sarah Coleman and a K-9 unit named Rex, a German Shepherd trained for apprehension. The officer's body cameras, later reviewed, captured the exchange, showing Reed's calm demeanor and Walsh's growing agitation. As Reed stood by the truck, Walsh accused him of resisting for questioning the search. Tate radioed for Coleman to bring Rex closer, signaling a potential escalation. Reed, trained in de-escalation from his military service, remained still, his voice steady. "I'm complying, officers. I'm a Marine captain. Let's keep this calm." Walsh, ignoring him, gave Coleman the command to deploy Rex, claiming Reed was acting aggressive. Coleman released Rex, ordering, "Apprehend." The dog bounded forward, but instead of attacking, Rex slowed, sniffed the air, and approached Reed with a wagging tail, nudging his hand as if seeking affection. The officers froze, stunned by Rex's reaction. Coleman repeated the command, but Rex ignored her, sitting at Reed's feet and looking up at him. Reed, trained to handle military working dogs during his deployments, spoke softly to Rex, keeping his movements slow. "Good boy," he said, his voice steady. The body camera footage captured the moment. Rex, a highly trained K-9, refusing to attack and instead bonding with Reed. Coleman, flustered, leashed Rex and pulled him back, while Walsh accused Reed of interfering with the dog. Tate, meanwhile, searched the truck, finding nothing but gym clothes and water. The officers, embarrassed by Rex's reaction, handcuffed Reed, citing obstruction for his questions and alleged interference with a K-9. They took him to the precinct, where he was booked on minor charges of resisting an officer and a traffic violation for the license plate light. Reed, still calm, used his one phone call to contact his commanding officer, Major Laura Bennett, at Quantico. Bennett, a 20-year veteran, was outraged. She contacted the Chesapeake Police Department, demanding Reed's release and an explanation. She also alerted a military attorney, Captain James Torres, who arrived at the precinct within hours. Torres reviewed the officer's report and demanded access to their body camera footage. The video, combined with Reed's account, painted a clear picture. Reed had been compliant, the officers had escalated unnecessarily, and Rex's refusal to attack undermined their claim of Reed being a threat. Torres presented the evidence to the precinct captain, who, recognizing the potential fallout, dropped the charges and released Reed by midnight. Bennett, not satisfied, escalated the matter to the Chesapeake mayor's office, sending the footage to Mayor Alan Kessler, a former prosecutor with a focus on police reform. Kessler watched the video the next morning, his concern growing with each frame. Reed's professionalism, the officer's aggression, and Rex's unexpected reaction raised red flags. He called a meeting with Police Chief Daniel Harper, ordering an internal investigation into Walsh, Tate, and Coleman. Kessler also reached out to Reed, apologizing and inviting him to discuss the incident. Reed, accompanied by Torres, met with Kessler and Harper, sharing his perspective. "I've faced enemy fire," Reed said. "A traffic stop doesn't scare me, but it shouldn't feel like a battlefield." The investigation revealed troubling patterns. Walsh had 15 complaints over 7 years, many involving excessive force or biased stops, mostly against black drivers. Tate had 9 similar complaints, and Coleman, though newer, had been cited for improper K-9 handling twice. The body camera footage, combined with Rex's reaction, contradicted their claim that Reed posed a threat. Harper suspended all 3 officers without pay, pending a full review by the city's Civilian Oversight Board. The board, chaired by civil rights attorney Monica Price, prioritized the case due to its public sensitivity. The story broke when a local news outlet, tipped off by a precinct source, obtained the body camera footage. The headline, "K-9 refuses to attack Marine captain in traffic stop gone wrong," went viral, amassing millions of views online. Social media platforms buzzed with support for Reed, with hashtags like #JusticeForMarcus and #RexTheHero trending. Rex's refusal to attack became a focal point, with animal behavior experts explaining that K-9s are trained to sense threats and may refuse commands if they detect no danger. Reed's calm demeanor, they noted, likely signaled to Rex that he was not a threat. Community activists seized the moment, organizing rallies outside City Hall, demanding accountability and better K-9 training protocols. Mayor Kessler responded, announcing reforms, mandatory de-escalation training, stricter oversight of K-9 units, and a review of all officer complaints from the past 5 years. He also met with Reed publicly, presenting him with a city commendation for his composure and service. Reed, humble but direct, used the platform to call for change. "This isn't about me," he said. "It's about ensuring no one else faces this kind of treatment." The officers faced consequences. Walsh and Tate were fired after the Oversight Board confirmed their pattern of misconduct. Coleman received a 60-day suspension and mandatory retraining, with Rex reassigned to a new handler. The board recommended criminal charges for excessive force, but the district attorney opted for administrative penalties, citing insufficient evidence for prosecution. The decision sparked debate, with some activists arguing it was too lenient, while others saw the firings as a step forward. Reed's story resonated beyond Chesapeake. National media covered it, framing Rex's reaction as a symbol of truth breaking through bias. Reed, uncomfortable with the attention, focused on his duties, returning to Quantico to prepare for his next assignment. He did, however, visit the Chesapeake K-9 unit to meet Rex, thanking the dog with a pat and a treat. The moment, captured by a local reporter, went viral, further cementing Reed's reputation as a man of integrity. LaToya Harris, a single mother who had faced a similar stop in Philadelphia, reached out to Reed, inspired by his story. They spoke at a community forum, sharing their experiences and advocating for reform. Reed mentored Jamal, LaToya's son, encouraging him to pursue a career in public service. The Marine Corps recognized Reed's handling of the incident, awarding him a commendation for leadership under pressure. The Chesapeake Police Department implemented Kessler's reforms, with body camera compliance reaching 98% within 6 months. K-9 training was revised to emphasize handler accountability, and Rex became a symbol of the program's success, his instincts credited with de-escalating a volatile situation. Complaints against officers dropped 25% in the following year, a sign of progress, though trust remained a work in progress. For Reed, the incident was a reminder of his training. Stay calm, Stay focused and let truth prevail. Rex's reaction had changed everything, turning a routine stop into a catalyst for reform. The Marine captain, backed by a loyal dog and a community's outrage, proved that even in the face of authority, one moment of clarity could shift the course of justice.